This is To Wit, a podcast for women doing life. Woohoo!
We can't do that part simultaneously. I'm not Melinda Smith.
I am not Christy, but we are in the same house.
Hey yo!
Can we just stop staring into your eyes?
Like two just staring
Your
over
face.
the microphone, like we're sharing a bowl of noodles, like Lady in the Tramp.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Come on.
We're hanging in Denver. We've been doing some things.
So busy.
Um,
How come it's harder in one room? Why does it feel harder in one room?
I don't know if your elbow feels right.
Is it?
So, once upon a time, we finally launched an app.
This is true.
So I've learned that all things are possible. So our partner community app is alive. We're getting feedback from people using it that
Are you going to launch
It's
in the
great.
partner community for like all multi-level marketings?
no.
Just for years.
The company
okay.
I'm just saying it's a partner community that's
Gotcha.
being accessed through an app.
Gotcha.
The company that the vendor we're working with does work with other MLMs, which is handy. So in phase 3, we're going to get into reporting, which I feel like is going to be a big hot mess.
Oh, wow.
So they will be great then. But I mean, they're great now. I actually really like them, which I feel like you sometimes can't say about Salesforce consultants. No offense. You do not resemble that remark. But yeah, so we've got
I
a thing.
didn't even take it personally until you said that. That's cool.
It's and it's out there in the world. So far, so good.
What's it called?
ACN Compass.
Ooh.
I mean, you can go sign up and be a guest if you want and look at the
ACN
peaking
Compass or ACN Encompass?
compass, like using this compass to navigate your business.
Oh, sounds smart.
So,
witty.
funny thing, what I have learned, the word peaking content, in my mind, I was thinking like Peaky Blinders, peaky,
No.
but it's PIQUING, to like pique your interest. Yeah, so part of it is tracking your business, but part of it is, hey, Belinda, I've heard about this great opportunity.
Do you feel
You
peaked?
should find some things out about it. You should peek at it in the guest flow. And then you can take a survey that was
But if
we
you say
talked about.
peek at it, I would always say like peek. Like your eyeballs peek.
Yes, but it took me like a month of working there to realize, until I saw it written down, that they weren't saying peeking like peekaboo.
I
So,
still feel you're wrong, though.
I mean, that's usually the case. I'm not wrong.
This is true.
Have you learned anything Salesforce-y? I mean, I didn't really learn some. That was just me saying all of the learning has resulted in a product that's out there in the world.
What did I learn? I did type this in our notes. Like, this is what we're going to talk about. I feel so brain dead. Like, what I learned.
I mean, you learned that you can survive a conference.
I did. If we're going to talk conferences, that's just like so the immediate past. And for some reason, I can't think 3 weeks ago. I have learned, like, with keynotes and speakers, to ask more questions about their needs. So we had a couple of keynotes that, I don't know, like needed their
Dongles.
dongle. Needed like their slides prepped or just other little things. That is, I mean, nobody cared, but it was kind of a runaround.
You
so at the
cared.
end, yeah. So I was like, oh crud, you didn't need this, and I was like, I'll just download it. Yeah. So that I learned that, like, just ask more questions, maybe have a, dare I say, checklist.
Ooh.
Chrissy knows
Quip document.
this is true. So we've learned this about me together.
Melinda loves checklists.
Me too. We shared a hotel room for Witness Success, and yeah, I had to get up early, and yeah, I needed to eat breakfast. Would I probably just grab something at Starbucks? Probably. But they put a door hanger with a checklist for breakfast options, and when you want it delivered, I felt like a queen. I was like, I'll have oatmeal and pancakes, and yes, I'll have coffee. I would like that at 6:30.
No,
Thanks.
and I want bacon, and I'm vegan.
What kind of
But
food?
Christy probably wants bacon.
Yeah.
And then I'll check a box for, is that it?
And hash browns.
I feel like you were hungry when you filled it
My
out.
favorite thing is
Just
you
like-
said, whoa, is your company paying for this? I was like,
I
I don't
don't
know.
usually order room service because I'm frugal.
Oh, I'm bougie.
Oh, but like, I just hate the gratuity that it's like more than the food
Mm.
when I feel like I could just walk downstairs. But I didn't argue very hard, and I ate the bacon. So really,
The hash browns.
I ate. There was fruit. I ate some fruit from the oatmeal.
Give me a checklist. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Hashtag give me a checklist.
Right?
So on that same note, we were talking about emails. Of course, everyone has heard I don't like to read fully, nor do I. I will open an email, and if there's more than one paragraph, I usually go to the middle and then maybe read back up. But if you bullet it
Yeah.
or checklist that shit, I will read every teeny tiny syllable.
And I will check them all.
Oh, I do love it. It's very programmatic for me.
Okay, so now you gotta build your speaker checklist.
Yeah.
So next time you know. Then it's half the battle.
Well, it wasn't, and it's not really my doodah.
Day.
It wasn't. I handle a couple speakers because I MC the whole event. But
Oh, so speaker
we didn't.
wrangling.
Yeah,
wasn't
speaker
always your
wrangling.
cat.
No, and I was down, but I was like, oh, crud, I didn't ask the right questions. Gosh, shit. But the cool thing is we had some great speakers, and, Beth Comstock, who was, former vice president of GE, who did amazing job and delivered like such really great content. It tickled me because at the end she was like, did you like that? Is this what you expected it to be? And I was like, felt like looking behind me, like, are you talking to me?
Okay, so this is very interesting because we have not discussed this before now.
Oh.
Like, she did not really resonate with me very much.
I mean, I liked her content, but it struck me as odd that like this powerhouse of a woman that's made probably more money in 2 years than I'll ever make in my lifetime. Not that money equates anything. That's not the point. What I'm saying is, like, she seems very like put together, and her kind of
She had a great PowerPoint.
Yeah, great
It's very
PowerPoint. She
sexy.
wrote a book, ran parts of GE, and it was like, was that what you wanted? I was like, oh, because you think maybe someone like that would just be like, cool, bye. Not like, did
You're
you get the
assuming
content you wanted?
confidence
Yeah,
because she wrote a
or
book.
assuming you don't give a shit.
But
like,
maybe she's not a
but-
good speaker. These two things are not always
This
equated.
is so true.
That's the thing. I don't think she
They're
like
not mutually exclusive.
because Leah is up there, and she's like relatable,
Yeah,
but also like too legit to quit. And she's like just like you said, she like you're clapping, you don't even know what she's talking about,
yeah.
So maybe we're just spoiled.
Yeah.
But yeah, she just didn't really and to be fair, it was right after lunch. So like I might have felt nappy no matter who it was. Because I was full of bacon in the morning, and then I had my lunch. So
Where'd you get the bacon?
and I'm pretty sure I had a Cobb salad with bacon on it too. So
Well, bacon is just good, and I miss bacon.
sure. Ooh. So it's funny that we hadn't really talked about that. Like we haven't. This is gonna sound like rehearse or something, but we didn't really talk about the conference as much. Like
No, because you got to see a completely different side of it. I didn't get to really go to content. I really planned this year to make a point. Like we had great volunteers, we had people helping us. I was like, sweet, we got it all laid out. I am going to go and sit and come up, sit in some
session?
content.
Oh, sit and see some content.
Yes, and the couple times I
never
tried
happens.
to, like I got buzzed, or someone
Mhm.
needed something, or the other one I tried to sit in, I was like, I'm not even present. Like I can't focus on what you're talking about because I'm looking at my fucking phone, or I'm worried about so and so.
Right.
And I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way.
No.
Just like I couldn't be present and just be like, wow, that was impactful.
It is tough to. I remember the first year of Southeast Dreamin', for some reason, things were going really great now. And
Because you didn't know.
I went to a session, and I remember because somebody asked me like, "Wait, you're going to a session?" And I was like, "Yeah, because I got it together." But like, yeah, by the end of the
Don't you
afternoon,
trust me?
I managed to go to a session. But this last year, I feel like was the same. That I feel like I was like, "Where am I going? What am I doing?" Although I went down and had a drink.
I made
Which is
time
also
for
kind of just a way to
keynotes
hide.
and midday wine.
Yeah, midday wine I think is interesting. We had a lovely conversation about like day drinking, but like business lunch drinking.
Yeah.
Is it you that quoted 30
Yeah,
Rock?
it's 30
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah.
He's like a business drunk. It's like day drunk. It's okay.
Doesn't
It
count.
doesn't count.
Um,
Something along those lines.
so I was on a panel, which I know you forgot about. Just kidding.
I did already. No, I'm just kidding. I forgot who you were with earlier, but yes. I'm just getting to our notes.
Which I think went well. It was tough because one of the panelists couldn't be there. So she was on a go-to meeting, and the way this room was arranged, like we couldn't see her. And she was louder than, like the micro. So it was interesting, but it was good. So I'm very thankful that Kathy Lukerman wore her super fancy cloud dress.
There's a off the runway a fucking designer.
Oh yeah, so
I had no idea. I thought she just liked the cloud.
She's legit.
So I was trying to suggest to her, because I told her about the OG dress, the polka dot dress, like the one I wore to Daydream that started the polka dots. I was trying to tell her, find the material. I can have it made. Like my grandma's still amazing at this, but these were critical, they're art pieces for her.
Yes.
Like she got the skirt, and then she got the pantsuit,
and now she found a new designer that has something new, and she's got a blazer.
Yes. Didn't she say that one of them cost more than a car? No, I think I'm being exaggerated.
It's an investment in her personal brand.
Yes, and I understand that exaggerated is not a word, and I'm using it.
But I think also she is not that person in general. So it's a treat. It's a special thing. And she also doesn't love photos, so it also is a way that you can know her because for Twitter. But she coordinated this panel with 4 of us who had job changes in the last, however so long, which was actually kind of flattering that she assumed that I had chosen to have a job change, which was fun. So I was like, actually, no, I was asked to leave, but I still have a good story, and I've
really asked to leave immediately.
Yeah, bye. But it was interesting to hear, and what was one of the things I didn't think about was people whose companies did send them to Witness Success, and they wanted to kind of report back to the sessions they attended. So they told me they didn't come to our session because they didn't want to be like, hey, thanks for sending me. I went to a session about finding a new job. But in general, right, which I didn't really but in general, we just kind of talked about, being prepared for job changes kind of at any time. And I think my kind of more critical piece of it was you can't use a network in the moment you need them if you haven't built the network, right? So I know that's hard for some people, but I think in general, if you're somewhat happy at your job or you have been there very long or whatever, you kind of just ignore opportunities by rote, right? Mason Frank fucking calls you 5 times and you're like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
But, or someone, but,
well, to interrupt on that, do you reply to I found a great job for you? Do you ignore or do you say thank you but no?
It depends. I don't love the cold LinkedIn reach out, but I guess it's tough too because
if they're super cold and canned, yeah. But if someone's like, hey, I reviewed your profile, flyer, I can't talk. I reviewed your profile and then I had a couple nuggets, or if it was brief, because I like brief. I'll say thank you so much. Keep me in your contacts.
See, this is, I think, a deeper rabbit hole. In my opinion, I thought, or I have treated LinkedIn as resources that I know.
Yeah, no one was
so
talking about that.
We met some great people from HireForce, and one of them requested me. Your Tro leader works at a recruiter, and she requested me. So again, we met, right? So there's some context there. So then they actually know me, right? As opposed to total random out of the blue person who's like, I have a developer role and it's contract. And it's
in Michigan.
Right. Cool. Yeah.
On my way.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good luck. Bye-bye. But even then, maybe I shouldn't be such a hater because maybe it's going to pay me $1 bajillion.
No, and maybe I just say yes because I spend more time on LinkedIn when I actually need something.
Well, sure.
So I'm like, well, if there's a bunch of other people out here, even if they are recruiters, I have access to it. But it's not like I look for a job and post in my timeline on LinkedIn. It's looking for work.
I definitely get at least 3 LinkedIn requests a day.
I just say yes if you have a picture.
Interesting.
Except for I did say no to someone that was a pilot because I was like, why? My husband's a pilot. Why do you need to know me? You want to be anywhere in the Salesforce space or a recruiter or someone I actually know, obviously. All right, fine.
Right.
was like commercial pilot or private pilot. I was like, no, that's weird. I'm like, why? You don't want to know me. You want to know Mr. Smith.
Hey.
It is not
so anyway,
I.
We did a session. We talked about some things. People said they liked it. It was interesting too to think about, like, I personally, and some of the other speakers kind of said the same, of like, you kind of get comfortable somewhere until things start to shake it up a little bit. And I probably didn't see it coming as much as I should have, or like I should have been looking already when I got let go, right? So
oh, really? We didn't talk about that. Did you feel like there were signs? Was there downturn signs?
Well, so the thing about Christy, so I kind of
do tell.
I kind of have this trend, which fortunately I'm not having in my job now, which I think is a good sign. But where I start and I'm excited and I get to build a new process and I get to do new shiny things. That's great. And then I learn how to do new things. And then it's like, and just do those things. And then I start to be like, I can take a 2-hour lunch. And then I start to borrow time for myself and I don't pay it back. So then I'm not performing well and I hate time sheets. So then I have to have the talk. Right? But the sucky thing about the talk is that these are things I tell myself anyway. This is not news to me.
What?
Yeah. So then it's like, you need to get your shit together. And I'm like, I know, right? And I start crying.
No.
And then I sound...
And you're mad because you cry.
Yes. And then you're like, I'm sorry, I just want to tell you what I'm feeling, and I really want to do better.
Yeah.
Right? So that had happened, right? And just, I had a manager change and just some team stuff. And it's, again, not the end of the world. And it all ended up right in the end. But
for sure,
I could have seen the signs a little sooner. So, but it's a tough thing to like proactively decide to make change, right? Have you set goals and not achieved them because your company's not helping or enabling you? Like, do they send you to things?
Yeah.
Do they get what's important to you? Which maybe is different, right? Everyone's going to have, maybe for you it's time flexibility.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I can work 9 to 5 and I don't care. I'll get a dog walker if I need to work late. And then, but for me, it's having extra vacation days or getting, so whatever fits for you. And maybe it fit at one point and it doesn't fit anymore, which is hard, I think, to kind of realize because you probably like your coworkers or, you found your comfy little niche spot. So, so it was good.
I think, I don't know if we have talked about it, but like I always try and keep a top 5 of what's important to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interviewing. So I remember, let's say the interview goes well or second interview and they're like, what do you want? And you are excited and your adrenaline's pumping and you forget to ask for things like Dreamforce or you forget to ask for work from home flexibility because you didn't write it down. So I was trying to make like a top 5 of what's most important for me from a company, like continued learning, community events, user group involvement, yada, yada. Obviously pays in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Pay me the money. But yes, I am disappointed, of course, that I didn't get to come to your session.
Okay.
Are you going to post slides out there?
I'm not maybe, but I don't think the slides were really enough to share for panels, right? Like we did.
That's true.
We did have some kind of themes we talked about. So Kathy, did have some great, like kind of from the conversation, she kind of distilled down. But it's kind of like a picture of your faces, and then you talk a lot.
I was really impressed by her wardrobe because were you standing? Yeah, it was at Champagne Brunch when she was showing us the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, these are critical pieces. Anyways, I digress because I'm a little infatuated.
How did you feel about the other panels closing, opening?
We had an opening. Oh, Ally's dinner panel.
Well, yes. Sorry, I guess that's.
I liked the panels. I don't always know. Panels can be kind of risky if someone, I guess panels or keynotes can be kind of risky if the person is not interactive or doesn't know. The good thing is most moderators kind of prep a little. So it's not like throwing them to the wolves like, tell me your deepest, darkest secret. Wait, what? Why would I do that?
And I think Jillian did a great job of that. And as well as during the Allies dinner, the lovely woman who's heard the story, Bridget, whose name I couldn't remember.
One of 8.
I think it's right. it's kind of about like figuring out the story you want to tell and breaking that down into like guide, like you say, they're like leading questions. They're lawyers. They're not asking anything they don't know the answer
No,
to.
I think I would appreciate that, especially like it was kind of like an interview, I guess, like an on-camera interview. Like, don't surprise me with shit, but no, I think the panels went well. I think the keynotes went well. I wish I could have seen more sessions, but they had really good feedback. How do we even get here? What the hell were we talking about?
We started talking about witness success, and I have two thoughts, which I think are wonderful. Number one, just in terms, okay, so for any of you who haven't been or have been to other Dream-Ins, it's a little different, right? Because it's not how to build a custom report type, totally. Right? It's my journey after cancer. Yeah. It's my my story and living mindfully and improving yourself, right? And women in tech and like the struggles and those kind of things,
and
right?
The CTA journey and like you're no meek being, you can do this,
right? Yes. So what was really interesting, I thought, number one, I thought Jillian did a great job of number one saying like, hey guys, this is outside my comfort zone and I'm excited for this challenge.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sorry if I screw up, but like, this has been great to get to know
I'm not
you
talking about just the platform,
right? Like, because I mean, she could talk about lightning in her sleep at this point, right? So, totally. So I'm happy that was a new kind of feeling thing for her, and I think even Leah, like, right, talking about a little bit of a different spin on things with grits and gravy, right? So, and then I also really loved. I was in 2 sessions that were first-time speakers, so. Shout out to Leandria Streeter and to Sarah Eamon. Carolinas, what? And in both of those sessions, people, maybe me, but only one time me, the other time not me, talked about therapy and going like, I've been working with a therapist and we kind of talked about this and just like owned up to some shit and people clapped.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like it was just a really great, so Leandria's session was about building belief statements and like changing your frame of mind and how you kind of like state like put out what you want in a statement that's not I will be happy when kind of an idea, but like I am valuable, right? I am knowledgeable, and thinking of the core values for yourself and how you can kind of spin those into statements that you can use when you're having struggles and things like that. So if she wants to share a deck, that would be awesome because it was really great. Oh, good, yay! But again, that people are talking about like their struggles, and she did this awesome word cloud thing. She found some number that you text or a site that you go to, and we all said like, what word is like, do you want your future self to say like that represents your life? And it built like the word cloud right on the screen.
Yeah.
And peaceful was the biggest word, which I assume is the most texted word, right? But like, so it was really interesting. And then next was like starting to build those statements, right? So what's funny is I tried to get a video of it because it was really interesting to watch it start to do it. But by the time I was like, I should video this, it literally was done. It's like this.
Why am I always behind?
So I got a picture, hey, which I may have already tweeted, but so I just really love the difference there, and not just for women, right? There were some wonderful allies there.
Yeah, way more than last year. I think last year we had mostly allies at the allies dinner, but I don't know if we had a ton attending.
I mean, Jeremiah was there.
Yeah, and Adam was there.
A super great paper.
But then like we had like leaders and session leaders this year, which was like, what? That was awesome.
Yeah. So, but just a really, I hate to say like safe place, but like. It's different conversations, right? Yeah. And it's different, even like, yes, there are sponsors, but like I said, you've got Hire Force, you've got Lightning Champions, right? You've got people that are kind of trying to talk to you about different things a little bit.
Did you go to the Lightning Champions workshop and or booth?
I did go to the booth.
What they talked to you about? I never even went over there.
So what's funny is I got a photo with the lovely and talented Carrie, who came across the pond to hang out with us. And she made a joke to the Lightning Champions van about that I had done the Lightning layout gumshoe, so I probably knew what I was talking about with Lightning. But so the Lightning Champions program is similar to kind of what Chris and Leah presented about being a multiplayer in like become a knowledgeable Lightning expert, let's say, right? Because you've rolled it out and you've got experiences. We've talked before about, there's something that that somebody else doesn't know.
Yeah,
sure. So it's more of it's in like an official Lightning version of that. And so, so I got the card to kind of look into it. We have not yet rolled out Lightning because Omnichannel and Live Message, where you can text for support, are not currently supported in Lightning. But I heard there's going to be a pilot in winter. So I was able to text my co-admin about that. So, so we'll see. So maybe next year will be my year for Lightning.
What? That sounds amazing.
Yeah. So then when it keeps flipping me into Lightning every week, and I can be like, I'll just stay here.
Yeah, done.
It's a great year. It's optimized over here.
I told you earlier, we had this whole conversation in a Slack channel about Lightning, and Gemma and I are like, no, you need a champion in. That's the way of the world. And I don't want to say we had naysayers as much as people were like, whoa, throttle back a little bit. There are implications, not implementations. There are implications. Sure. There are financial burdens. There's possible tech debt. I'm not sure I agree with that term exactly. But then, it felt like they were finding reasons not to play.
Well, of course.
But I'm like, I don't know.
Number one, I feel like part of the idea with technical debt is if you're building things now that you're not going to use in Lightning, right? But now that you're able to wrap Visualforce in Lightning and make your flows look like Lightning, right? Mm-hmm. And other things like that, I think there's less concern of that to me.
Well, the roadmap still has some possibility of converting.
I don't know. I mean, from here's my viewpoint, which I'm sure you're super surprised I have an opinion.
Weird.
I think now, currently, in late 2018 / early 2018, Lightning gives you options that you didn't have before.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, those are the carrots, right? Are there no sticks? No, there's some sticks, right? There's some sticking points. That's why they provided you tools to try and look at and address those things. But we had a great presentation. I'm sure I talked about that Rachel Rogers did about Lightning and the conversion at BMC software.
Mm-hmm.
And in their blind studies, right, they did kind of a setup and they had these sample users who they didn't know who they were. Each department had to send someone. And they would say something like, go create an opportunity and kind of see what people did instead of saying, click here, click here, click here. And from an intuitive perspective, people were like, can I have this now? Right? So
that's an interesting test to run.
I know the change. We could talk about that whole thing. We can never back talk about it. But I know that change is hard and things are different and I get it. And honestly, I'm not saying I'm looking forward to a migration to Lightning.
Yeah.
Because just alone in launching the app, right? In trying to transfer knowledge. You've got these users calling support saying, I get an error when, and it's like, what's the error? Do you see it? Do they see it? Did it do it anyway? Right? What device are you? And there's just a lot to learn, right? So I get that it's different. But of course there's going to be people who are waiting. I mean, I'm a procrastinator too. But until you make me do it, I'm not going to do it. And I should caveat with, there's people with much more involved custom BS than I've ever had to deal with.
No, I agree.
So may the force be with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, but that doesn't mean that avoiding is the answer either.
Yeah, and that was kind of Gemini's argument was, I'm not saying you're a dick. Don't, how dare you not love Lightning? It was just I felt like some
curmudgeonly mentality to be passing to clients.
Or just toggle back. Wait, what? Don't love it. And I'm not saying that their concerns aren't valid, but to just not, I don't know. I am a lover. I saw Jason Robbie at Daydreamin', and Jason Robbie's the owner of New Age, and New Age, let me go, right before Blue Wolf. And
what's 5280?
5280 Daydreamin' is the unconference that the Denver User Group puts on. I say all of us tro leaders, but It's mostly Joanna. Maybe next year, Kirsten and I will actually help. She had everything done before we joined.
Man, yeah.
She's the best. Dude, she's the best. She had everything on lockdown before we even joined. And we joined, I want to say January or February. I don't know, maybe the holidays. But she had everything. I know, maybe I'm wrong. But she had everything on lockdown. So Daydreamin', which she likes to call an unconference, which shout out to Amber Boaz because she loves that idea too. And we've talked about it many times. But she likes to consider it more of a TED Talk situation. So we've got some sponsors, we've got some tables, but mostly, we've got some great keynotes and move on with our lives. Now, this one was a little bit broader than before. Instead of 4 hours, it was damn near the whole day. And
you had Peter Coffey.
Yes. Peter Coffey was his third year coming back. This is only 3. I really thought it was more than that. But New Age always sponsors, and I saw New Age last year when I attended as an attendee and not a user group leader. And, at first it was a little awkward, like the first time I saw them after we got let go. But this year, I've talked to them. We've hung out. Not hung out, but I've seen them in the community. But I took a moment to tell Jason, hey, we all know, we actually are, it's the most amicable, separation ever. But I was we ended up both outside trying to get connectivity and chat. And he's like, how are you? How's the family? I hear it's going really well. And I was like, I'm really happy. Things are going great. By the way, thank you. Because even though this didn't work out for 6 months, all I did was implement Lightning. And it was kind of by accident that I knew it. And not only kind of was like, oh, this is a cool thing. I fell in love. Because, they weren't customized by any means. There might be a custom object or some customization, but not customized.
Were these brand new people?
Yeah, and I'm talking small to mid businesses that didn't have a lot of money or understanding of the platform. But we did strictly Lightning. And it was really easy to fall in love when that's all you do. Brand new people, never seen the platform, so easy to love Lightning. But yeah, in the beginning, I was like, I can't find anything. I don't know what this, the setup menu sucks. And obviously, as we were told at Daydreamin' and apologized to, and I can't remember his name. If any of you remember the first Lightning UI, and we're sorry. Well, with the icons on the left. I was that wasn't great.
I will say that I had to build a dashboard. And
with the new dashboard builder or recently?
No,
because I just said the same thing.
We haven't launched Lightning, right? So I'm in the classic builder, right? And it is funny that it just feels sad, right? Because I know what it can be.
Oh gosh, the
dashboard! I know how pretty and wonderful it can be, and so I'm like, here's your statistic, which it's fine.
Would you like?
But if I'm
trying donut chart.
I do like donuts over pies in terms of charts. I just like that total in the middle.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree.
Pie versus donut.
Go.
Let us know what you think.
All 600 followers of ours.
Heated Salesforce debate. Team pie, team donut.
We're team donut.
The demons are team donut.
Why do I do that? How often I do this on the podcast?
You're a licensed messenger, basically.
I get all like demon.
It's your party goblin.
It is the party goblin.
So we got down a little lightning rabbit hole there, but 5280.
It was great. Again, I had a few people say, what do you guys put into this? And what do you do? And I was like, no. This is Joanna Iturbe. She's a rock star. Again, hopefully I help more this year. But we've kind of outgrown the space, and this is the second year that we've had a lot of AV issues. So that's not going to work. What they told us, we're doing mic check, which I feel like they should have done before. But something along the lines of the dongle, the AV, the VGA, blah, 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 broke that ran from the hell is it called?
Wall?
No, the back area was where a DJ would be.
The
booth. Yeah. From that to the stage, under the stage. So something's broken. This would require getting underneath. So that's not going to work. Okay, fine. We were also told we had 2 Wi-Fi SSIDs, and We tested it. Lots of people can be on it. Well, that wasn't really the case. Then the VGA or whatever the situation was failed. So like our opening keynote, who was going to do some live demos, like did chat, then had to run back to the booth for live demo, and we made it work. But like it was kind of stressful.
Yeah.
And it's like a tech conference in a sense. Like you don't have Wi-Fi and proper, I don't know. So anyways, I'm not bagging on. Everyone was very nice. It didn't work out, and it's in a basement situation. So like add all of those problems and then put us in a hole. Like it's just a problem.
There's no light.
So it's not like everyone would be like, even on your phone, like screw this. I'm not, the Wi-Fi's not working. I'll just jump on, cellular, and I'll just tweet out or whatever. No. So
no, you're in a bunker. Salesforce.
So we've outgrown the space too, and I'm not sure what we'll do, but I know that Joanna's vision, which I also share, is like we don't want it to be big.
Right.
We didn't even want it to be kind of as many hours as it was this year. Like unconference, come have some food, it's free. Like that's kind of what she likes, more of a TED talk, and I love that idea, especially because the other conference is like the polar opposite. So it's nice to have both.
Right. But I like the idea of more niche approaches to things. And I don't want to make it seem like that's easy either, right? So if you're a user group leader and you're listening and you're like, I should do that, I just call Peter Coffee. Like, it's definitely not that. I mean, obviously it's easier than multi-day, right? When you've got hotel rooms and, but it is interesting because like some people pay for space, some people don't. Yeah. Some people pay because of paying for the food. Some people don't charge a ticket fee because they can do that, so there's kind of those different advantages and disadvantages to each venue and event. But
I mean, it's really like it's funny because the first time I heard the term unconference was from Amber, because we had talked with the core team of Witness in the beginning. We she had this really great idea after last year of kind of I'm not going to get this right. And I'm sorry, Amber, I'm not going to get this right. But like, almost like not like a session and a session pick, but like you put up a bunch of Post-its of what you want, almost like bubbling, like we've done with Blue Wolf, and then you chat about it. Am I doing this right?
Sort of. So basically it's, if you want to talk about something, you go up and you give a 1-minute pitch, and then each attendee has 3 Post-its. And they put the Post-its on the things that they want to hear about. And then the planners kind of arrange a schedule. So it's interesting because, so we've talked about this for something else that's like not super secret, but like maybe it won't happen, so I won't talk about it too much. But we talked about the unconference idea. And part of the advantage is there's less wrangling in the beginning for speakers. But then everyone's got to kind of be prepared, or you're doing something live. You're not doing slides, right? So, but then you kind of make sure that the things you're offering, the things people want to hear, which I think might appeal, assuming that the people you want to hear from that are knowledgeable about the thing you want to hear attend and are ready to speak, right? So then I think you've got to get into a little bit more of a curated invite from some perspectives. Like, let's have somebody who's really good at communities and really, well, for a standard conference, right? Really good at Lightning, right? Like Lightning Champion, and et cetera, so that you at least are seeding a little bit with what you think people might want to hear.
How does it affect sponsorships? And I'm sure I talked to Amber about this, but I can't.
I mean, I don't think
that conference
any different.
Sponsors like, I'm only going to sponsor if I know your content. Like that, I don't feel like that was a thing. But
no,
would that affect that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if anything, I think it's an interesting balance of treating sponsors so they want to come back, right? Yeah. Because as an attendee, like, you've hidden from a sponsor. Like, don't lie, right? You flipped your badge around. Unless they had a swag you wanted, right? But it does.
Those T-socks. We'll come back to that. It's fine. It's fine. I don't need anything. I just planned it. It's cool.
But also then, like, with demo jams, right, or with that kind of concept of speaking, but then it's just it's a delicate balance.
Well, I like,
because what if it's not a great speaker and then they're kind of boring, and then it's like the opposite impact.
No, that's that. I mean, the unconference. So anyways, like the first time I heard that term was from Amber. And then to hear Joanna kind of passively bring it up, she was talking to someone else. I was like, oh yeah, totally. I get that.
I guess I could see using the idea of unconference as well as, like you say, kind of a TED Talk learning, general.
Learning and networking kind of thing?
Yeah. Versus, not that you don't learn the other one, so that's not the best way to define it, I suppose. But
or, I know, Jean Valonis,
typical
Jeannie Beanie, also just for the record, was like, let me just look into the cost if we just put Witness on a cruise ship. like how weird and awesome would that be at the same time? Like a 3-day cruise. So anyways, I know. Forward-looking statement.
Right. No commitment.
No commitment. But yeah, the long and short of it, it was extra exhausting because it was in my city. Extra exhausting because it was next to Daydreaming. Again, Joanna did everything, but I was present. I made sure that I was running around and either...
You're still on?
Totally on, making sure, that, it's not like I'm sitting relaxing. I want to make sure that everyone's there, up on stage for a little bit. Making sure she's fine, making sure everybody's fine.
Comfortable in front of a mic you are.
I kind of like it. It's weird, right? It's almost like I would like a podcast or something, or like...
And you're so shy.
Went to broadcasting. Side note, who said it to me? I can't remember. Someone at Witness. So it's part of my super fave, but my first moments of emceeing the event. So last year I did some emceeing, but it was just shoot from the hip, which this is what this is. I feel like that's how I'm better, unscripted. But I had key points I wanted to hit. And I'm sorry for the 47 people that have already heard me say the exact same things, but to love me is to hear me say the same damn story 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Moving on. I wanted to hit certain things. I wanted to say certain thank yous. I wanted to hit certain notes. So I planned a lot. And I practiced on some, but some I just had to read. And it made me a little more nervous because overly scripted and reading breaks my cadence and breaks my confidence, kind of. So I was super freaking nervous. Spun so not high spun or high strung, high spun or whatever, that I was went into the room and looked out the window and practiced some not heavy breathing. That's all right.
Meditation.
Yeah, yes.
Breathing.
Deep breathing. There you go. I practiced some heavy breathing. Yeah. And then after that, I just really, really liked it. But someone had said to me, and my apologies if it was you and I can't recall who, you're really great in front of people. Or you know what? It was Becky DeLorean? DeLeon.
Oh, DeLorean.
DeLorean. Okay, I was like DeLorean.
L-O-R-Y-N.
DeLorean.
Not DeLorean. There's
Whatever.
no I.
She could be Back to the Future. You don't know.
You don't know.
Becky was like, "Oh, you're so articulate," because she asked me to do a quick little video, and I said thank you instead of just saying thank you because I actually do like doing that. I also came with a reason. Thank you. I went to broadcasting school.
Okay.
And she's like, "Oh, that's great. It shows." And then I walked away, and I thought later, why did I do that? Couldn't I just say thank you? Thank you for saying I'm articulate. It's like I had to justify or give a reason, which I don't know. I think you do sometimes. Someone will say you have a nice dress, and instead of saying just
oh my god, for $3 at Value Village.
Yeah, and maybe that's a stretch for a comparison, but I kind of gave myself hey, you don't have to say here's your reason. You can just say thank you, and I can actually be an articulate human without have gone. And it wasn't a real fucking school. It was Ohio Center for Broadcast. It was 10 months of some bullshit.
But you don't have to downplay it either. It's also funny that you're super not articulate right now while you're talking about it, and I just said that to make you laugh because you're trying to script yourself. But I do get that it's hard when you think you know what you want to say, and then you're standing there and you're like, "Oh yeah, oh thanks sponsors." What? Yeah, so it's. I do it too at Southeast, and especially at the end when people are kind of done, but they're sticking around for prizes, and you're like, I still have to say all these things.
Well, and I got a little nervous at the closing panel.
Mm-hmm.
Because a couple things I hadn't planned to say, which is fine, just some like housekeeping. Don't forget to mention this. Don't forget to mention this. And I'm not remembering her name, but works with Ian at Elements.card. And she was like, hey, we're doing a raffle. I made a point to come in before the closing panel and put my business card under one of these chairs. Can you announce that we're giving away a TV? And I was like, that's awesome. I love that idea. I totally will. Walked up on the podium, said my few logistics, introduced the panel, said my thank yous.
No TV for Alyssa.
Introduced Jillian and then walked away. So everything's going on. Panel's going great. I was like, hey, can you still do the thing? And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I said, you told me, and I immediately forgot it because it wasn't written down. So I had my typed out notes and then the little handwritten additions. And even though I do like being in front of people and I do like making people laugh and being up on the mic, like I still need my bullet points.
You're not doing like improv comedy.
Yeah. She's like, hey, can you announce this? I was like, oh my God, I'd love to. Bye. Like just immediately forgot.
I mean, but somebody still won a TV.
Yeah.
You made up for it. It was fun.
Can you still do that? Yes. Okay.
By the way, sorry, hotel, because we may have ripped the labels off the chairs on the bottom, thinking that they were cards too. I'm like, there's something under here. I mean, maybe that was just me.
Well, I don't think it's like a mattress. Like, do not remove this ever.
Yeah, they can't return the chairs now.
Yeah.
I guess.
No, but I really enjoyed that part of it, and I've received some compliments, which is very heartwarming because it's not always easy to stand up there. Like it almost seems like it would be easier to stand up in front of a bunch of people that you don't even care about. When it's people you care about and you're like, oh shit, I want to do this right.
I mean,
but like
you could have fallen off the stage and it would have been fine.
But like back to the Becky thing too, I was like, why can't I just receive a compliment in that area? Like I mean, I think we all as humans too work hard on saying thank you. Because people like to do that, X, Y, and Z compliment. Oh, no. Or it's just because. You excuse it away. I don't know if it's just a woman thing, maybe, but I've worked hard on just receiving a compliment and saying thank you. But that one, I caught myself like saying, I did this. Went to broadcasting school. Thanks. Hope it shows. Oh, and then I think I followed it up with, for a year I had to make commercials and, I listened to my own voice in my ear. And it's like, I just couldn't stop myself. Like, shut up.
What?
All they said was you're articulate. And I was like, let me give you 47 points on how you might be
maybe
wrong.
You're just making conversation. Why do you gotta be so hard on yourself?
It's horrible.
Cheers. Too bad we already popped the cork. We didn't get that.
It's a little celebratory champagne. Post-witness. 2-wit, 1 house. Like, it's happening.
We're in the same place. I think this is the first time. We've talked about doing it before. We have great intentions, guys. You may remember the time I brought my microphone somewhere and got stopped at security because they thought it was a bomb. And then we never recorded
You're like,
it.
My podcast is a bomb. What?
No, I was like, what could be in my backpack that they need to go through? And he's like,
I checked
there's
my
something
donor.
on a type. Do you have something on a tripod in here? And I was like, oh shit. A ball mic? Yes, I do.
It's called a snowball.
But I'm sure I told you this, right? That the TSA agent also had a podcast?
No, wait, come on. Tell me again.
I was like, oh man. I'm like, it's my microphone. I totally forgot it was in there. I do a podcast and want to see my podcast co-host. And he was like, oh yeah, I do a podcast.
He's like, the trials and tribulations of the blue shirt.
You should get the blue snowball. It's great. Oh my God, what if it was about TSA? That would be hilarious. All the dumb shit people do, I would laugh. Oh my gosh. So when I was coming here, there was this lady behind me. Her husband was in front of me. She's behind me. She's like, oh snap. She's like, I have a knife in my purse and I forgot about it. And so she pulls it out and she's like, can I mail this to myself? And the lady was like, yes, we'll put it through. We'll put it through the scanner and on the other side of the scanner. Because they still make sure it's not a knife bomb, I guess. Right? Because they're just going to mail it. So they put it through the scanner and then she's packing up her stuff on the other side. And they're like, okay, so it's going to be like $19.95 to send it, right? Because I'm sure it's like BS UPS rates or some crap.
In my head, I heard, whoa. So when you send stuff back, it's like going back in time? Like, it's like 1995.
I understand. Backstreet's back? No. Oh. That's dollars, not pesos.
Why did you just say $20? I don't understand.
To be fair, she might have said like $18.95.
But
Like,
why did you just say it's going to be like $20?
Maybe they expect you to have the change. You can write a check to the TSA. Okay, so
the same house.
the best part though is the lady's like, well, it only costs like $12. But then she stopped and kept looking at the TSA agent like they were going to be like, oh, okay, then we'll only charge you $12.
Yeah, what TSA? We'll go ahead and negotiate the postman's rates.
When he comes by,
No
I'll tell him this only costs $12. So then she had him throw it away.
So let me. I actually have never done this. So I assume that when you're like, oh, let me mail something home, they're like, well, get out of line and come back.
I mean, basic. Well, no.
So the thing was they're going to let her scan it and someone was going to come for it?
No, yeah, there's like a mailbox like there on the...
Like on the other side of
on the other side. Yeah. For the dummy heads. So they scan it and they have like pouches or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, and then they...
That's odd. Like,
except for, I don't know what the criteria is because I once lost a full-size bottle, almost brand new, of expensive hair product and they just made me throw it away. Like, you can't mail liquids.
Yeah, you can.
But knives are fine. Like,
you can mail liquids. I feel like they were
anyway, I don't know.
You.
Goodbye, bedhead. Anyway. So that's my TSA story. But yes, the microphone also has been a problem in the past. But this time we did it. We had champagne.
Events are too hard. Like, we even thought about recording little like snippets at this event. And the only reason, honestly, the only reason I got snippets from Dreamforce last year is because I chose to stay a day longer and I got
at the cigar party?
Microforce, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like everything was done by then. Really, nobody was anywhere else, or it probably wouldn't have happened.
Because everybody was there.
Everybody was on
Michael Farrington is the best.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's a thing.
It was so much
But
fun,
yeah,
though.
but even we oh yeah. But even you and I were talking about like Friday night after the Allies dinner, we'll record a little quick thing and put like
yeah.
Like
I had like a little hotel room party
go to die.
planned with like other friends. Like, well, we'll just meet for a glass of wine.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I told Jocelyn, I was like, well, let's meet for a glass of wine later. You know, cheers to, and Jean, like the core team, like, let's cheers it up.
No.
But we were both like so tired. Like, you know, Jocelyn walked us to our room and she was going to be a robot to go directly to sleep.
Yeah. Apparently
we did this.
She has, now you know, we're going to call Jocelyn out. She has a secret skill. She just rolls over and goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Like when it's time to go to bed, she just goes to bed.
Logging off now.
Goodbye. Homeostasis. So that's what we learned about Jocelyn today.
That's hilarious. So are we done talking about me?
I mean, we can talk about me. That's super fun. I went on a cruise to Alaska, and I recommend that people do it.
Cold.
Okay, so I went in July, right? So not super fucking cold. I will say that we were in Skagway. So basically, I realize now, like, you know, Alaska's huge, right? And then there's that little like part that comes off the bottom that like actually touches the U.S. Not quite, between the peninsula and the part that touches. Gotcha. So like we only went to the little like I love how I'm gesturing like anyone can see me, but not the big part, but like the little thumb part. That's where we went.
Florida part.
So in Skagway, what did I just learn that was really interesting?
You have to learn
it. No, I know, but I was going to tell you something and I forgot it already. I saw some glaciers. It was lovely. I would say, in my opinion, not super great for little kids. It's more like, let's look at nature, right? Like, and ooh, that's a glacier, and this valley was formed by glaciers 3 bajillion years ago, right? And
like glacier.
These like facts. I saw a bear on the side of the highway. So it's black bear, brown bear. What do you see?
I see a teacher looking at me.
So this is actually pretty funny. So we got to Skagway and we went to the Yukon. So we crossed into Canada, and we went to Sled Dog Summer Camp, and we got to go on a sled dog ride. and it was super fun.
Were there puppies?
There was puppies. It was also funny because my mom remembered signing us up for the tour, clearly, did not remember selecting that we went on the sled dog ride part. So not everybody did. Everyone else got there. There was this lunch. They also had 2 alpacas and some donkeys. Oh my god, this one, it was so funny. We walked up and it just had laid its head on the boardwalk, like where you walk like out of its little fence. Thelma and Louise were their names. So you got to see the dogs and play with the puppies, but not everyone got to go for the ride. And so she's like, I don't remember. This is not a surprise. I don't remember. It was great.
This is a surprise to all of us.
And we learned some stuff about the Iditarod. It's crazy talk. Like the stuff that it's just. And then these dogs, like once they finally retire, they've run like 50,000 miles. Like it's crazy. But
how many miles you got on your dog?
Right. Hey. I do love that my friend. I texted it and it was like, does Axel know that I saw all these?
How dare you?
But anyway, so on the way back, we stopped and took pictures at various pretty places, and you're like, oh, gorgeous lake and trees. Yeah, whatever.
Nature.
Oh, that was what I was going to say about Skagway. So Skagway has like Alaska weather, right? Is either super sunny or super dark all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really overcast when it is dark, right? So they don't get many truly temperate, sunny, nice days. So I was shopping and I asked the guy if he was going to be there at the tour, and he was like, I don't know, I might just close early because I want to go experience this day because it doesn't happen. Right? So like, yeah, they live like 22 hours in the dark in the winter. It's crazy talk. Anyway, so on the way, the guy driving the tour bus, I know, sorry, this is such an ADD story. The guy driving the tour bus is like, there you could see a moose, you could see bears, you could see whatever. If you see something, shout bear.
Say something. Oh.
Shout bear.
Bear. You just see something or see bear?
Just say bear, because then maybe it's a moose, but you could have thought it was a bear. But like, it's easier to say
Cow on
bear.
stilts.
Yeah. So what's funny is he said that, and then so you know how like it was like a 6-hour tour, a 3-hour tour, like a 6 or 7 hour tour. So by the end of it, you're kind of I'm a millennial, kind of. I said you.
You're an elder millennial.
So we kind of were like, had taken all the pictures, we're kind of done, and just like sitting on the tour bus, and this girl goes, ah! And he was like, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. And he stopped and back to the bus, and there was a bear. They eat the dandelion weed next to the highway because it helps restart their urinary tract after they've been hibernating.
Interesting.
Fun fact for the day. So we took pictures of the bear, so it was fun. So like I say, very lovely. It was, we saw some waterfalls. We learned about, I went to a salmon hatchery, which is different than like commercial fishing, so farm salmon never leave the farm.
Yep.
Whereas the hatcheries are, so.
Hatch and be free?
Hatch and be free.
Gotcha.
Well, yeah, hatch and be free, go live your life, come back there. Then when salmon spawn, they die.
Uh-huh.
And so they basically like, instead of letting them regularly spawn, they take all the eggs and take all the man parts and fertilize on their behalf because they're going to die anyway. So then that increases their birth rates, that then increases the amount they put out in the world. But like 92% of them don't come back because they die in life, right? Like bears eat them, we eat them, whatever eats them. So it's very interesting. And it was spawning time. So it was very interesting because there was literally, so they built an artificial ladder that's like a stream for them to jump up.
Yep.
And there was literally, like, the water to get into their ladder was, like, tumultuous with salmon that were, like, crowding in to try and get up the ladder and come up. And then they had, like, bajillions of little baby salmon spawn. And fun fact, when salmon hatch, they basically, their egg part is still attached to them, and that's where they get their nutrients, and then they're called a salmon fry.
No.
Yeah. So there you go. So I learned that. I also saw the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. So, I like to throw axes anyway, which is fun. But it's basically kind of similar to what they do with the Highland Games, right? So you have you each run a team, and it's like from the logging industry there, and they used to have these kind of competitions, right? So, and by say you each run a team, like they split the audience in half to support two guys and the other two guys. And they do like chomping competitions. They have like amped up chainsaws that they've like modified to cut stuff. So they do competitions. Some of it's like relay race style stuff. So super fun. And I bought their calendar and they signed it for me. So the chainsaw race was they have to, like, one guy does this thing, he hits the other guy, he picks up the chainsaw, runs up the thing, cuts the thing, and then runs back down and like tags the other guy back.
Does he throw the chainsaw?
No, but he has to carry it while he runs, which is dangerous. I mean, it's there's an element of danger. No. So yeah, it's pretty cool to watch them. It was fun. And I bought a Lumberjill shirt.
No.
That says, once you lumberjack, you never lumber back. Because how can I not?
Really? I want to throw an axe.
Come on down, baby. It's literally walking distance from my house. You probably have one here. You should Google that. It'll be fun.
No, I only do that with you.
Oh, that'd be fun too.
That's what I've decided.
So yeah, I had a great time with my family. And it was beautiful. It was very nice. It wasn't that cold. Oh, no. So this is the thing. So on the on the show?
Go back to what you were saying.
What?
I derailed you.
Yeah?
Derailed.
Do you know the difference between a boat and a ship?
I do. Did I say boat?
Yes.
I meant ship. Go back to the weather.
What the ship? So the day we went up the Tracy Arm Fjord to see the glacier, it's a word.
I know, it's a beautiful fjord.
It's got a J in it.
I like to say it. When you up the fjord, go on.
We went up the fjord, and it got a little chilly. So that was like, I went and got my mittens, so I could take pictures.
Pom-pom mittens?
No, I didn't have the pom-poms the pom-poms are on the tech gloves too. So they're ones that I hadn't yet made into pom-pom mittens because, as previously discussed, I buy things to make crafts, but then don't finish making the crafts. So therefore, I've never made my pom-pom mittens, but I bought the mittens. So I had mittens to take to Alaska. I did take some stuff on some of the trips. Like in my backpack, I had like a scarf and whatever. So, but I mean, at most, I wore like a light sweater on my ideal date. That's a Miss Congeniality joke, by the way. If you didn't catch on to that real quickly.
On my ideal date.
You just need a light jacket.
You want the kiss.
Love me and no. Yes, I've seen that movie. Yes, I own that movie on VHS tape.
Not beta.
Nope.
Continue about the ship.
The ship was great. We went on Carnival.
Ooh.
My parents are like diamond on Carnival, which is a blessing and a curse, right? Because they know lots of things. But it was fun. And have you ever played Egyptian Muskrat or Egyptian Rat Screw?
I don't know fucking any of those words.
No? Card game?
None of those make sense to me. I mean, I
got to play with my brother. And it's basically a game where the face cards matter, and then if you have pairs, you slap them. And so it's fun. So we got to, we hung out and slapped each other. My mom had to be our mediator.
Egyptian walk and muskrat love.
To be fair, those are both the same thing. Egyptian muskrat, rat screw, rat fuck. I don't know what you actually call it. That's what we call it.
Do you like how I seem defended?
We used to play that game.
Whoa!
Ooh, how dare you?
Those are such sweary words.
That's why you say muskrat, maybe. Slap. We don't slap jacks though. It's not slap jack. We couldn't remember the name of it either. But I'm a good slapper. Anyway, we got free cards on Carnival. You can just go ask for cards. I didn't know that, right? Now I own a deck of Carnival cards. And it was lovely. So it renewed my desire to want to plan to at one ship.
Oh, yes.
I don't know where we're going to go. But
I'd have to be warm. Not Alaska.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, there's one that comes out of, and I'm not going to remember who I talked to at the end. A witness.
Galveston.
Yeah, were you sitting there? Was it at the
I have no idea.
brunch? Anyways, yes, talking to Jocelyn and someone else.
Don't call it brunch. There was only mimosa.
Do you need something else at brunch?
So the day after the event, it's possible that we needed to spend some more money for the event. Because for those of you who haven't planned an event, you have something called a food and beverage minimum. So you have to spend you agree to spend a certain amount of money. So
and you're going to spend it anyways.
Yeah, you're going to either give it to them or you're going to get some champagne out of it. So we had a mimosa bar. Surprise mimosa bar.
I was like, I'll just take bottles of wine home. You can't do that because of the law. Cool. Can I put my room on this? No, it's a different revenue stream. Sweet. Well, I'll just take these friends down here and eat in the restaurant. No, that doesn't work. It has to be in the banquet space. So it's like, I might give up.
So instead, you just, pour champagne for lots of people.
So we had brunch.
And you were talking to somebody about a cruise.
And they said something about Galveston. Like, you can do just like a quick little 3-dayer. Because I cruised out of New Orleans down to Mississippi in the Gulf. But Josh, Mr. Smith, the pilot, has never been on a cruise, and I want to take him.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
I do too.
And if you've never been, a 3 or 5 day is a good, before you commit to a whole week. So
I
will say,
have I done 3? I feel like I've only done 5, 7, and 10.
This one, 10, look at you. I feel like this one was much more family feeling. Like, I didn't really meet any people. Well, to be fair, I was with family. I wasn't like trying too hard, but it's like, it didn't feel like a bunch of spring breakers, like randos that are just hanging out and want to meet people. It was a little bit more
I
like,
agree.
I'm in Alaska with my mom.
Yeah.
So, which I was too. So we got fine.
Same freaking same.
So yeah, cruisesarethebomb.com.
Is that your super fave? Cruises?
No, but you did mention my super fave. I got to meet the Smiths this week. I'm so super excited. So it's so funny because we've been podcasting for a hot minute, years
2
now.
years at least.
And so I've seen your husband and your child like on the Skype and talked to them. We interviewed your daughter, But this weekend I got to hang out with them now, which was super great.
Yeah, so, he came to the Allies dinner.
Yeah, I was
He's
like,
big old famous.
I'm super excited to hug you, and he was like, me too. So,
y'all text like individually, not like I'm even involved.
Well, it's funny because I think it was on an episode actually where it was like, if something happened to you, like I should have his. You sent it to me like you should just have this, and then I texted him, especially because once his old company I saw in a demo, and I was like, hey,
Surf Air,
Surf Air. So we talked about that, but so that was. I'm excited. That's part of the reason I've been looking forward to this too, right? Is to have some Smith time.
He's my favorite husband thus far.
Yeah.
He's alright. He's my first husband. We're doing really well.
I love you clarified that. Like, by the way, that's a joke, everyone. He's my only husband. It's not like I murdered the first one. And this now
no, he's my first. I'm not going to be presumptuous. I'm only 40. I've got a lot of years left.
It's like when my uncle's like, "You're my favorite youngest niece," or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I
get it.
Yeah, he was excited. He's to meet you, and we had the Patroni stick. I said that all.
Padroni?
Well, I did. I said all staccato Patroni. So I
feel like that's Patron.
Right, I did that.
Gabby likes Patron, but that's not her name.
She likes the tequila, though. I think Patron would be like too like name brand. Like she likes good tequila. Anyways, I digress. So, on that.
Yes, we're on this tangent. Let's keep going.
So I told Christy earlier that it was kind of funny because when I first started getting more involved with the community, I do remember hearing people talk about hanging out, sharing a hotel room, being at each other's houses for the weekend, and passing no judgment at all. But I remember thinking, oh, well, that's interesting.
Well, because there's no other
like this person you met virtually.
Visit your coworkers, right? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so it seemed odd years ago. But this morning, I'm making English muffins for Gabby and Guillermo's girls and my daughter and
me.
And you, actually, yes. Gabby's oldest daughter that was here wasn't interested in the oatmeal protein English muffin with butter and cinnamon sugar from my cinnamon sugar pig. It's a thing. Hashtag my cinnamon sugar pig. I'll send a picture. But I was like sitting in the kitchen, we're chatting, we're sitting at the, I was like, oh my God, like.
I'm now that person.
I am that thing that's like, again, it wasn't a judgment thing, but I thought, oh, that's wow, that's interesting. Like just invite strangers to your home, but they're not. Like we're not strangers. And when you are that close to people, but if it weren't for the Salesforce community, my home wouldn't have been filled with those people. Like, yeah, maybe I would have planned an event, maybe I would have done the thing, blah blah blah. But like, it's different when you were like really involved. Like my friend circle is 90% the community.
Well, and what's really great is people who were like, I was like, hi, I'm Chrissy. And they're like, I know, I recognize your voice, but I didn't want to be creepy about it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, people listen to us. Do you have a sticker? I told that story, and I mean, that conversation, but I also told we met because of, comments on a post on the original Girly Geeks community, right? So, right?
Wait, so, no, photo hunt.
Yeah, photo hunt. So, I remember being on conference calls with you, before we even met, right, with Aptus. So,
when we met at the user group Girly Geek, oh God, were we WIT then?
That was when it became WIT, was during that event. And we were like, oh crap, we played the Girly
I thought I saw you, and you were like, yeah, I totally love to help. I ran to the bathroom, because yes, I had to pee, but I pulled up your picture. I don't know if I told you that, because I was afraid that I was going to be like, oh my God, and get it wrong. So I ran to the bathroom and in the stall, pulled up our conversation and made sure from your photo from, I don't know, whatever platform, that I was correct. It wasn't like accosting the wrong person.
I totally did that this week. Thanks to the Swap Card app, because the wonderful and talented Susanna is going through potential name change and a bunch of different things.
Susanna St. Germain.
Yes, Kate. So Kate is her middle name. So now, if you find out details about her, you can still identity. Just kidding, don't do that. That'd be awful. She's great. But I had to look at her picture and her hair's blonder, which I mean is always a risk, right? With women, is that their hair color might have changed. Mine is probably still blonde.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, who does that? So yeah, I definitely pulled up the picture and was like, oh, and then I went to her session, so that helps.
Phew.
Yes, that was right. That definitely is her. But yeah, it is a really great some of my great friends are people my best friends are people.
I mean, you and I sit in WhatsApp or DM channels with people that we talk to on a regular.
Yeah, I talk to people every day that I never would have met, from other countries, from it's crazy talk. And sometimes it is about Salesforce, and it's a great resource, which is what's interesting, because on one hand, the MVP, I mean, it benefits my employer, right? I get certain perks that benefit them. Yeah. But a lot of it is oh shit, we have this problem, and I have people I can go ask, because I've been to events and I know that this is my community's go-to person, this is my product go-to person.
Yeah, for sure.
So you kind of build those resources, which kind of goes back to what we talked about. Are you ready for a new job? Look at us come full circle. We had a damn agenda or something. So I think you kind of talked about emceeing, because you went to broadcasting school, so you're super good at it. But you had a good time with it, right?
And here's the thing.
That's what you can bring to the table.
15 years ago. So for me to be thank you for inviting me to talk for a little bit.
Bicycle.
It's just that I know what I like. And when it comes to talking in moments like that, I try not to do the pause. Look, the only problem I do, which is more kind of a self-gratifying problem, is I often look at the camera and I'm just meh, 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 hello. And
there was no camera. This is not supposed to be you talking crap about
Becky.
Yourself. Oh.
When Becky asked me to chat for a little bit, there were a couple times that the camera guy was giving me the 2-finger wave, and I was like, oh, look at Becky. And I was like, hello, I just blah, 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 blah. Okay, why don't you go ahead and look at her and treat this like a conversation and not like you're making love to the camera there, Marilyn. Calm the fuck down.
You got the blonde Marilyn there, and I can't stop yourself.
Yeah, I really did. I spun myself sideways in the beginning because I was just nervous. But if I just give a second, or a 30, I'm fine. But I enjoyed that part. I enjoy making people laugh. I enjoy being silly, and I enjoy recognizing others and all that. So I really did. I really like that. I think I already said that.
MC Melinda.
And the other super fave, laying on my couch, looking at my ceiling fan that I've had fixed twice because it clicks.
I didn't notice until you said it.
I wouldn't notice if I not paid so much for the ceiling pants to install. Anyways, that's a whole other Oprah. My other super fave was I dug deep a little bit into 4 weeks ago, or whatever, and we had this little backyard pool and I'm so grateful that Mother Nature, who can be such a bitch, listened to me, because it was like a few weeks of really 90-something degree heat. Now, granted, I don't have AC, so it's a little compounded here.
Which, by the way, was hilarious because you left the door open and my AC conditioned brain was like, close it up.
Yeah.
And
it's the door open.
It doesn't matter. It actually created a nice breeze.
Yeah. So one Sunday, after hanging out, we went to brunch and it was so hot. And with this big, not just like the plastic backyard pool, but like a blow-up situation. It's got like an inside bench. And we blew it up and filled it up. And by we, it was my sister-in-law and I. And we put on music and sat in that damn thing for hours and chit-chatted and had chips and snacks. And then after a few hours, we're like, oh, let's have a glass of wine. But it was I don't know. It just was such a really nice relief because, again, it wasn't like the plastic bullshit pool that you have to just put your feet in it. You can fit your whole body in it. And we sat out there and I, got some rays.
Did you let the kids come in there with you?
Olive came out for a little bit. She just kind of wasn't interested. She was hot. So she came inside and wanted to be cooler in the shade. But Megan and I were like, you know
what? Let's do this.
Let's catch some rays.
I like it. I had a good pool weekend. I didn't overdo, I think, a little bit. I've only sunburned myself once this summer.
Bullshit.
So my other super fave, when we cruised out of Seattle, I got there a day early and we went to the Chihuly exhibit. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right.
You are.
Dale Chihuly is a glass sculptor artist.
So beautiful.
And he actually has installations other places. So I would recommend looking him up if you're not going to Seattle.
He had an installation at the Botanic Gardens for a while.
Yeah, so and they had videos about those traveling installations. And it's so interesting because, so you guys, imagine, you can't even imagine, just Google it. But we're talking a Christmas tree's worth of glass pieces that form just these beautiful shapes. And he has chandeliers. There was some really interesting, so it's like a garden in Seattle and a museum. And some of them are in on black glass, so they're reflective.
Ooh,
really interestingly, and they're beautiful. And of course, you can buy one at the gift shop for the bargain price of $7,000, or a postcard of a picture of one. But
for $59,
right. So, but it was really lovely and just different, interesting. Out in the gardens, they're incorporated into the gardens.
Yeah.
And just the different colors and plants. And they had one of the videos, they did some water installations. And you see him with these big, so he was in an accident at some point and lost the vision in one eye and eventually dislocated his shoulder. So he has people that he gets that make glass the way that he wants, in the style that he likes. Yeah. And so he's got these beautiful big glass balls, and they're literally chucking them in the water in this video. And a part of me is just oh my god, it's so pretty, it's gonna break. But so when they go traveling, they basically have the metal form that's you ever had a fake Christmas tree?
Yeah.
Where you stick the branches in the pole.
I do.
Right. Same kind of concept, right? So it's like a pole with the supports, and they just have they're not numbered, right? They just have all these different shapes and colors that within the scheme of what they're going for, and they build this. They're just beautiful. So yeah, Chihuly, CHIHULY.
Why didn't you send me a postcard? Because it was $59.
I sent you a postcard from Scotland.
No, this postcard was $59. I'm framing it.
Right? It was funny because we got in the end. By the end, you're maybe I do want to own a little. And of course, it's the size of your hand, and it's still thousands of dollars.
Well, and it's also interesting because he's been popular since I believe I lived in Seattle. Not that it's you only have popularity for 10 years. Fuck off.
Well, no, but he was born in 41, right? So he's been
very popular for very long.
Started since since the 70s,
and he's still incredibly popular. And I don't know. I haven't been to the Bellagio in forever, but I told you years and years and years ago I went in there, and it's near. I don't know if they still have it, but they have this beautiful like flower area, kind of a greenhouse type situation. Anyways, one of the lobbies are going into the botanic area. We'll call it a Bellagio. The entire ceiling had Chihuly hung upside down. And I was like, oh my God, that makes me so anxious.
Yeah, it's so...
I had all this beautiful glass.
Like, imagine a beautiful chandelier that then has an upside-down Christmas tree of glass pieces hanging from it.
Yeah.
Right? So, apparently that was in 1990 when the Venetian series... 1988, and then 1990 it came back.
Oh, okay, it has to be 98. Because it's like my fun travels to Vegas have been since.
He did one in Jerusalem. It's just really interesting. So, and then like these are like the permanent kind of exhibits. So, yeah, it was really interesting. So I'm happy that my mom.
So did you come home with a little teeny tiny piece or postcard?
No, I didn't. I mean, we took pictures, right? So one of the rooms was actually really interesting. It's all up in the ceiling, and so we took a selfie with my family and the ceiling in the background. So I mean, I'm gonna like print pictures and or make my own postcard. It's on my dad's phone, but this is the concept, right? It's just this beautiful. There's my dad pointing at my head. Sorry, we're looking at a picture that no one else can see, but we're still recording. So. If you've made it this far, dear friends, 281 House involves champagne and friendship.
I just want to hang out all the time.
Thank you to everybody who recognized my point.
Thank you to all the sponsors and all the people that attended and speakers for Witness Success and Daydreamin'.
Like seriously, like actual event things. I'm talking about
I'm just saying, like, we can't do this shit without you. Just saying,
is this like a feedback review for me where you're like, I'm just saying, I'm trying to make a point, okay? I'm sorry.
What's your role? Click next when done. I was being get feedback.
Oh.
Isn't it not as funny as what you were saying?
To any of you who are listening to this and going to be at Forcelandia, I will be there. So,
yes,
I'll have stickers. Let's hang out. Where's your next Dreamforce?
Just daydreaming. Or what? Pause. I can't edit it out if you keep laughing like this. Just Dreamforce, you dick.
What's the next event that you get to go to refill your tank? Dreamforce?
Dreamforce.
Daydreaming already happened. We talked about that.
I know, I'm just trying to Dreamforce.
It's coming. Is it dreamforceyet.com? What's the
59 days? Something like that? 57?
I'm just thinking about my multicolored calendar and it's already sort of giving me anxiety.
Speaking of multicolored, I think that's what I'm doing. Rainbow hair. Yeah.
Just gonna commit.
Screw it, let's do it. All the colors. Fuck it, all the colors.
Well, okay, I'm ready. In the meantime, stay witty. Why is laughing making me fart?